So the funny story about that as well
gotta tell
is initially when we made No Disorder, it was myself and Olamide in the studio. Do you understand? So like there's another version of the song that has Bado
Bado.
on the first verse, has
Remix.
Bado on the second verse.
That's where I get all my energy from. From the stage to the studio and to my desk. I am the energy god. And you can be one too.
You're listening to Adeshokbe Live, the Afrobeats podcast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to another episode of the Afrobeats podcast, Adeshokbe Live, right here in the Afromedia Studios in London. As always, we appreciate you joining us, where we have these incredible conversations one-on-one, where I'm joined by a special guest, and sometimes I just break down the hot topics of the culture. As always, if this is your first time on this channel, we appreciate you, but I'd like for you to subscribe. The last time I checked the statistics, 85% of the people watching this podcast haven't subscribed yet. Now, that's not fair. You spend a lot of time with us, so make sure you click the subscribe button right now. Share, comment, like. We appreciate you whilst you're doing that. This is brought to you by the Energy God Energy Drink. Drink and stay energized. Be yourself. This is for us, by us. So go to energygod.com, place an order, support the movement. This is our own thing anyway. And as always, Anchor Car Sales. If you're based in the UK and want to get yourself a brand new car, any type of car, VIP, Salon, Jeep, whatever it is, follow Anchor Car Sales on social media. Go into their DM, hit them up and say, yo, Adeshokbe sent me to you. They will give you a special advisor that will give you a specific quote, whatever your budget is. They will make sure they get you the car of your dreams and get it delivered to your doorstep anywhere in the UK. So that's Anchor Car Sales. Tell them Adeshokbe sent you. Now, joining me in the studio for the first time in the UK in a long time, probably about 10 years actually, is a rapper, singer, writer, performer, all-round artist, one of the exciting talents that broke into the culture at a very, very young age. Still a young man right now. That shows you how long this guy has been in the game. A lot of people call him young and getting it. Some people call him Kesh. Lil Kesh is in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
You guys are supposed to clap, man. You're in the background. What's popping?
They don't know the energy of just the stage.
You know?
Yeah, So I've got
Out here.
I've got to tell you something interesting. This is the first time recording this podcast in the studio with my producer.
No way.
That I've changed the seat.
That you've changed the seat.
Yes.
Oh. Man, I'm honored, man.
Ever.
I'm
In 5
honored.
years, everybody come through, they sit down. But Kesh came through. He said
He just had to do his own thing different.
He said,
Man,
he wanted to be
honestly,
on
I
the
wasn't 100% sure to that. I was like, is it flexible? Like,
Nah,
can we
man, it's
change?
Listen, it's flexible, and I think that's also very important for me. One of the most important things is that people feel comfortable.
Thank you.
when
I
they
appreciate
come
it.
here.
In 5 years, you're changing your seat for me. I don't take it for granted. Thank you.
First of all, how
Sir.
are you doing, my brother? You look amazing. You looking young, like you're getting it and making a lot of money out here in these streets.
Man, I'm good.
Hmm.
I'm living life, enjoying life. Glad to be here.
Hmm.
Most importantly, I just ate. I feel amazing.
You just came into the UK.
Yeah.
You've had a very incredible love affair with the United Kingdom for probably like a decade now.
Of course.
Talk to
Because you
me
know the story now.
Yes,
Yes.
talk
no,
to
like,
me about having such a good business and just good relationship with the UK ever since you stepped into the music business.
man, it's a blessing. You know, the very first time I got on a plane in my entire life was to the UK. You know, that was like in 2014 when I had Shoki.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's when I got on the show, me and Wandeko.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I started getting on stages. And so like my very first experiences of, being on shows and trying to see how people perceive my music and like, oh, okay, is this crazy? Can we curse?
Oh yeah.
I
Come
was
on,
like,
man.
so, oh shit, is this crazy? It was London. So, and shows that came after then was just crazy. I've had one of the best experiences in London. So London will always have a place in my heart. It just means
the
that
funny
much to me.
thing, the first night that you're talking about with Wande Cole and I think Sean Tizo
Yeah,
at
yeah.
Troxy.
Proxy, you remember?
I remember
That's why
everything.
when Uncle Shop says Cash pull up, Cash pulls
Pulls
up, bro.
up. You gotta pull up.
Yes, no.
You know, when you finish performing, you dropped the microphone on the stage and just walked away. And I was like,
This boy.
yo, and later on I'm thinking, you were just a kid then. That was your first stage performance, like coming out in front of people. You're getting on the plane for the first time to the
Yeah.
UK. What's even going through your mind at those times? Are you able to understand how big those moments were?
Definitely no. It took a while for me to realize that. Like, I don't even think I feel like I was operating on some energy that were beyond what I can explain. Do you understand? It was just, trust me, I couldn't even see myself. I didn't even know what was going on, but it was just an energy that was just going. It was just going. It was just going. You know, it took a while for me to be able to start reflecting on what those years were like. You know, but yeah.
2 weeks ago, I caught up with one of the videographers, shout out to K Swiss, who used to record all our videos back then.
Yeah.
And we just started going through hard drives. And boom, I stumbled on the YBNL concert days.
No way.
Bro.
Is it that show where that one
When
that
you
jumped into the
I
crowd?
posted a video about maybe like 2 weeks ago.
Please, I've
think
been
about-
looking for this video. I
Oh
need
my
this
God, I
video. It's not
posted it.
online.
I posted it about 2 weeks ago.
You're airdropping it to me before we
I'll
leave.
find it for you.
Please.
There's even more. So I'll probably take you to this guy. I'll introduce this guy to you.
I'll be glad.
Like I sat down and I was looking at you rehearse with the band. I saw the rehearsals. Then I saw you come on stage and control the band and just come on with lyrically and all those things. And I'm thinking to myself at that time, it took me back to those moments where I'm like, none of us knew what we were doing.
Yes.
None of us.
I promise you, I don't think I knew what I was doing back then. I didn't even know what I was doing.
We were laying the
I feel like
foundations.
I was aware. I feel like most people were just operating under things that were so much bigger than us. I promise you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, and like when I saw you, you walked on stage, you started rapping, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, looking at what has, transpired in the culture. We had Olamide, then we had Kesh, then we had Zlatan, Naira Marley, then we had Ashake.
Yeah, the Fireboys, the Shake.
I'm even talking specifically like street
Street
artists.
Yeah.
And at that time, what you were doing, the heights that you reached, the HMV Apollo, 5,000 people jumping into the crowd.
At that time, bruh. At that time, no IG or no streaming platforms or no. I mean, there was IG,
Bro,
but like
it
IG
was 15
wasn't that.
seconds.
Do you
We
understand?
had those promo videos. So it was for us to create promo videos for the concert. Was 15 seconds on IG. So it was, bam, YBNL concert. Get your tickets now.
No, I promise you.
Not this 2 minutes, 3 minutes. We have those videos. Like, I'm looking at those videos like crazy. Now, looking at what street artists and street hop and hip hop
What this has gotten to.
have got to do here. When you were making those music and stuff like that, do you look at, what the kind of artists that are now enjoying some of the success coming from your DNA? What do you do when you sit back and look at these artists? Like, you see the run that Naramadi went on, you see the run that Zlatan or Ashake went on.
Yeah.
What does it feel like sitting back? Do you feel like an OG? Like, yeah, man.
I really don't. You see that OG feeling. I
Because you're too
really
young,
don't. I
man.
really don't get it. I don't know. Maybe because I look in the mirror and I'm
You
like,
see a young
yeah,
kid.
it can't be you, this guy. It can't be you, this niggas are greeting and they're doing like this. Like, nah, man, because I don't see it. But yeah, I mean, when I see them, I'm just glad that I was chosen to, because I'm just glad I was chosen to play the part I played. Because whether they like it or not, I definitely inspired these niggas. Do you understand? Because as at the time I came, I definitely put down a blueprint as well. So just watching the game to have grown to what it is, I'm glad. I'm glad I played that part.
Young and Getting It, classic album, Till Tomorrow. Not
Yes,
that
sir.
many people came out the gate with a classic album. You can mention a few, You talked about Fireboy. I've always given him credit for coming out with a classic album.
Yeah.
Whiskey, we saw that with a
Yes,
classic
sir.
album.
Yes, sir.
Yagi is a classic debut album,
Fact.
brother. You know,
Fact.
turn the microphone to yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Do you still? I know you. Of course, you perform. People book you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But do you still listen to the music?
To the old songs?
Yeah.
Well, even to date, I've never really been that guy that listens to his own songs.
No way.
Yeah, even back then to now, like I never really go back to listen to my song, but I mean, I get to listen to them sometime, but I barely. I'm always on the next thing. Like, what's next? What am I creating next? I pay more attention to the songs I've released more than the songs that I am yet to. I mean, more than the songs that. I mean, I pay more attention to the songs that I'm yet to release more than the songs that I've already released. Yes, so.
Now, whilst I was coming here, I listened to. You've got a brand new project out.
Yeah, so Forever Getting It.
Forever Getting It. Young
New
and Getting
EP.
It was the first one. Then you
Yeah.
had the second project, Ecstasy. I think
Ecstasy. Was it Ecstasy?
Yeah,
Ecstasy. Then
Ecstasy.
after Ecstasy, but Ecstasy was an EP.
Yeah.
And then after the EP was another EP called Rhythm and Tunes.
Yeah.
And then after Rhythm and Tunes is Forever Getting It, which just dropped this midnight. So go copy, you know. Shepsy, tell them.
Yeah, listen. First of all, congratulations on this project.
Thank you.
I didn't know what to expect when I press play. You know, when you've heard all sorts of records and all sorts of sounds coming from you, you've been behind some of the biggest hits in our culture. Forget your own individual records.
Yeah.
Able, God, this, that, and the third.
Sample you.
Too many smashes
Fact.
with too many people. Fireboy, Zlatan, Chinkwe, the list goes on. Naira Marley.
Fact.
So when I wanted to play this project, I didn't know where to go sound-wise.
You didn't know what to expect.
Yes.
I like that.
Once I hit the play button, one thing I was impressed by the beat selection. You're someone that has worked with incredible producers from day one. We see what Young John is doing right now, you know, the likes of Fields. So you've been at top of the food chain working with those guys. So beat selection was fantastic. Production, the sounds, the collaborations. You have Fireboy. Talk to me about your consistent working relationship with Fireboy, coming from that YBNL family bloodline. How did this brotherhood kind of form?
I mean, it's been effortless. I was privileged to witness his growth. You know, when Brado signed him and brought him up, I saw him record some of the songs off, you know, Laughter, Tears, and Joy, and he's just been really cool and just platonic and just cool vibes. Even every time we decided to make music, it has always been effortless with him. So it was never no long. See, like now, my thing with collaboration, sometimes when you try to do collaborations with even people that you have no idea, that you don't really have a vibe with. Now that's some sort of strategic kind of collaborations.
Like business.
Maybe those be dicey for me. But you see the ones that have a fire where you are, okay, pull up now, and then we're just there and just chilling. Like, I like this being there. We'll just make music and then it's out there. So it's been a smooth process making music with fire. And we don't have no bad music. It's just always good with fire. Yeah, no bad songs.
Again, you have Fireboy on the project.
I have Fireboy and Iron Mouth on Vex for You.
On Vex for You. Iron Mouth is a new YBNL artist. Talk to me about
He's not actually on the YBNL. He's Empire, but like he's not signed to YBNL, but I mean
his family.
He's affiliated.
Exactly.
He's family.
To me about selecting someone like him.
So that too wasn't planned. It was just like what I just explained to you. Now, funny story about Iron Mouth. I met him about a year before he started popping. You know, Ulu Wave said, "Oh, you need to listen to this kid," and then I met him. And then at that time, I met him because I judge when I meet people with where I'm at. So if I'm on this frequency and then I'm meeting you, it means you're kind of on this frequency as well. So the frequency I was as at that time, and I met someone like Iron Mouth, I knew where it was going. Played me a couple of his songs. I was like, all right, fire. It was then after then he met Fireboy, and then they did Dealer. Oh, I was there. They did. Funny story.
Talk to me.
The same day Fireboy jumped on Dealer that he did the verse was the same day we recorded Vex for You.
No way.
I promise you.
So
we're all in the studio
been a while
together.
ago.
I promise you. Like it was like you're gonna. He came to the studio to record the verse, and while we're just there, we're just playing piano and just I was like, this is mad. I started singing, I risk it all, I'll give it up. Fire was like, oh, that's fire. And like, okay, but Ayo was privileged to be there then, so I was like, drop a verse. And when Ayo dropped, it was like, okay, it's gone. So that's how we recorded it.
And even at that time, even though Fireboy jumped on the record, then it wasn't like it was set in stone that I Am I was gonna go.
Yeah.
So for you,
Nobody
to
knew it
put-
was gonna. Of
Yeah.
course, yes.
So
And
we're
then
just taking a chance.
yes, and then another song of the EP, Forever Getting It, is the very first song, More Money, More Life.
Yeah,
Yeah. Funny story about that as well is we were not done recording Vex for You.
yeah.
So when we linked up to like just finalize before we were gonna put it out was when the producer played the beat for More Money, More Life, which is also gonna be another beautiful music that you're gonna hear because there's a fan base for it. So you're gonna be surprised how
That
people are gonna
goes.
accept and take the song. So that day too was like, okay, me and Ayo, let's just cook up this as well. And then we was just vibing, trying to make it. And Fire was there as well. So we're just putting lyrics together. Then we made the chorus. Then it was eventually I was like, okay, me and you already have Vex for You. I'm just gonna do this by myself.
Just do this.
And then I
one.
took
Just-
Ayo, and then I do that.
Now there's a record on that project. When I press play on it, Disorder, it felt
No
like
Disorder.
No Disorder. I
Yeah.
felt like Olamide was on that record.
All right. So the funny story about that as well
gotta tell me.
is initially when we made No Disorder, it was myself and Olamide in the studio. Do you understand? So like there's another version of the song that has Bado
Bado.
on the first verse, has
Remix.
Bado on the second verse.
Remix.
Do you understand? And it was just me and the chorus initially. It was supposed to be Bado's song. And then eventually woke up like, you know how Bado is, like spirit man. So it was like, because the night before it was so hyped up about the song, was like, bro, like, I can't believe we created this. This is
a
crazy.
smash record, though.
Do you understand? And then woke up the next day or maybe a few days after and it was like, I don't know. I was like, if you don't know, I know. So don't
That's a
worry, I'm
smash
gonna
record.
take it. Yeah, and then eventually it was like, it's cool. He doesn't mind. He's the type to.
Just let
Let's
it
just
go.
create more of like, I mean, because
When I
there's
heard
no
it,
limit to what we can
Once
create.
I press play on that, I'm like, this sounds like a record that Olamide is on.
Yeah.
Like,
So what we now did was like take out his verses, then I wrote new verses
and
to
follow that flow.
exactly new verses, and I just kept the chorus exactly.
Ricardo Banks.
Oh yeah.
That's right off the gate.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Dun
got
Dun.
wings on it.
Dun Dun featuring Ricardo Banks. Beautiful record as well. So you want to know how that came about?
Yeah, talk to
Okay.
me
So
about
it was Ricky that reached out to me sometime this year. It was like, my album is gonna drop. That I need to come. I was like, I was good, brother. I was like, pull up if you come and listen to some of the projects off my album, then we could probably record something, or maybe you could pick one of them for you to jump on. I was like, for sure, it's high time. So I pulled up on him. Then he played me the album. I was like, oh, fire! It was nice. Then I picked the song. I took the song back with me, and then I recorded the song I sent to him. And then I was like, wait, hold up, Ricky is gonna kill this song of mine as well. And then I sent him Don Don, and then he recorded Don Don, and then that was it. Like, it's just out there.
And when you listen to Don Don,
Yeah,
Ricky starts the record.
yeah,
And a lot of times,
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of having collaborations and features
mm-hmm,
where you allow your guests,
mm-hmm,
depending on the vibe,
yeah,
to start the record. Essence, we saw that was Thames
Yeah.
that opened the door to the record. There's been a lot of hit records
Mm-hmm.
that have that trait in it. Now, when you're putting a song together that's your song
Mm-hmm.
featuring another artist, do you think about those things like, since it's my record, maybe I'm supposed to be the one to be on the first verse or something, or do you just leave it to the creative side to decide?
I'm gonna be honest. In some cases, yeah, like in some cases, it can subconsciously affect. Affect the way the decisions I make on how even the process of creating the song is gonna go. But I'm also very aware of the fact that it is a record. It's not about who comes first, who comes last. It's about creating a record. So whichever way the record is being created and it comes out, sounding beautiful is what it's about. It's not even about who kills the song more. It's not about who's on the first verse, who's on the second verse, who did more, who did less. It's about the record. Records are there for life. So in this case, I didn't care. I didn't care who went first.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, because I remember you and I had spoken about this earlier, where obviously when you were signed to YBNL, your contract was just done and that was it.
Yeah.
That was the YBNL structure.
Yeah.
And then everybody just went on to fly.
Yeah.
We see a situation now where someone like an Ashake has basically moved on, or people have moved on from that situation.
Yeah.
Do you now, looking back, do you look at, an Ashake now and understand the position where an artist is, having been under a label, and decide that it's time for them to try and test the waters by themselves and go on their own path?
Honestly, in this case, I really can't say because whatever reasons Ashake had for ease, I I want to really I really want to believe that it has nothing to do with the decisions why. I mean the reasons why I made my own decisions.
Mm.
Yeah, probably very different reasons on both sides. I don't know what it is, so I can't speak on that.
So everybody just has
Yeah,
well,
I can't speak on that. It really doesn't. I don't think that has anything to do with my because I mean I looked at it, but I don't think our reasons might have had anything close to each other. No doubt.
What have you seen in the industry, especially in the last couple of years,
Mm.
that you've looked at and just been either excited about that this is going on now within the
Yeah.
culture,
Yeah.
or being like, nah, man, I don't like this thing about the industry nowadays. I like where I'm at. Where, how do you see, where we are now? After all the struggles that we had, you had, and everybody had, and now being in a position where you're enjoying yourself now,
Yeah.
you're traveling around the world, you make decisions yourself, but looking at the industry as a whole, what are the things that you're probably excited about or not happy about from afar?
Man, honestly, I'm not even gonna change anything because if they told me years ago that the industry is gonna get to the point where it's going to, I would doubt it's gonna. I would doubt that that is possible or that it's gonna happen within this period of time. So on that level, I don't think there's anything that will change. But about the excitement, man, these new boys are lucky. They are blessed. They have no idea.
Facts. Speak
Like
on
they
it.
have no idea. They are blessed. They came at an amazing time. Do you understand?
And
There are a
social
lot
media
of
is strong.
fam, like they have to do less. They don't even have to do too much. Just pick up your phone. You could go viral tomorrow. At the same time, it can also be a curse and a blessing because
Facts.
when people like us came and we didn't have it easy trying to put our name out there, or we didn't even have what they have now to become superstars. So that just shows you that the roots of what we built is deep and is strong. Like is in the core. That's why till date you're gonna hear things like if a Lil Kesh is come on, you still know. But that's because of how strong the root of what we created back then was. Now it can be a curse and a blessing
Facts.
for
Because a
them
lot of
because
artists might not
you will
have
do
the
the
energy.
numbers, you will
to
do the
work.
streaming. Do you understand? But in the real world, like the difference is clear. Do you understand? And also time will also tell. Like it's very difficult for this new artist to
To
really
become
make a stand
for a
like
long time.
for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Like as easy as it is for you to blow up, is also you're so also this easy to be
To
replaced.
disappear.
Like they're very, very replaceable. That's why I keep telling these artists like it's about spotlights. You understand? Like you're never always gonna get the spotlight. So when your spotlight comes, make sure you show them what the fuck you are like. It's not you can't tell how long it's gonna be for. Even your spotlight might be for as short as 6 months. It could be for like a year, 2 years, 3 years. But you see, when it's your time, when you're the rave of the moment, you have to let them know because you're not always gonna be the rave of the moment. So the more you let them know, the more the chances
Of you having a long.
because bruh, it's my 11th year in the game. I'm still here, baby,
Yes.
and I'm still gonna be here. You feel me?
I was told that
Yeah.
11 years
Bruh,
is no
it's crazy.
small feat.
I
Like,
know.
I'm sure at that time, if someone told you were gonna, spend 10 years in this industry, it would be impossible.
10
to
years
see
is
it.
loud now.
Yeah,
10
How you
years.
won't see him?
How now? And sometimes I still don't even see the extent of. I don't think I really perceive how long 10, 11 years can be. Because my looks can be very deceiving.
Yeah,
Like,
you've been blessed with that.
bro, I look in the mirror and I don't really know that I'm growing.
You've been
And,
blessed with
yeah.
that, man. You've been blessed. What do you do? I know you go in the gym and stuff. Are you someone that takes time on your diet and other things like that? Because it looks like you're taking it.
You see, they're laughing.
Yeah.
Yes, so I'm that guy. Yo.
Now, what's it like? What's the regimen like? What's it like at home? Kind of stuff you eat?
Okay. So what do I eat? I eat a lot of protein. Because the more we grow, the more our body, processes
Yeah.
carbohydrate. I mean, protein more. Like the more we grow, the more our body is deficient in protein. So I consume a lot of protein. I don't do gluten at all.
Wow.
Yeah, but I try to eat as much vegetable as I can. I eat a lot of fruits. I work out from time to time. I lead a very peaceful life.
You
Very
look
peaceful
like
life.
it, man.
Very peaceful life. I'm at the house, myself, my dog. That's it.
You've
Yeah.
always loved dogs from time.
I
I
still
remember
do. I've had a
there's
dog for 8 years. That says a lot.
no
And he's
way.
still here. So that's pretty much it. Just myself, lead a peaceful life. I don't like Wala. Um,
You didn't
what else?
you I think maybe I've said it before that you're one of the lucky ones that went through it at a very young age, crazy, but managed to find yourself
Hmm.
and just kept yourself. Because a lot of people lose it and
And
never
you can
come back.
testify to that because you've seen me from like the very first time I
Facts.
came to London,
Facts.
and you've seen different versions of Lil Kesh. From the time
100%.
when he was so young and he was so energetic, to the
Yeah.
time where it didn't even look like I knew what the fuck I was doing,
It's
to the
crazy.
time where I was so distracted, to the time where I was inactive, to the time where, okay, Kesh is trying to get his shit back, and then Kesh is, yeah, oh, Kesh is calmer, Kesh is this, so like it's crazy, but like I'm glad that I can be here having this conversation with you because it's not a lot of people that were able to pull through all of them stages, and
1000%.
I'm just glad and I'm grateful that I pulled through and I'm here
Do
because
you
nobody speaks on how crazy it is to blow up at an early age. Like, fuck to my mental health. It was so much. It was a lot, Shopsy. It was really, really a lot. I don't even think I ever really had opportunity to speak about how how hard that was on my mental health, blowing up at a very early age. But like I said, I'm glad I'm here.
how low did you get?
Very low, very low.
Huh.
It was so low that I'm proud that I'm here. No, but yeah,
That's crazy. Now, one of the things that I always think about with people like you is, do you impact this knowledge on the young artists as well?
trust me.
Do
Trust
you
me.
take your time to share? Because sometimes nowadays when I see a lot of young artists, sometimes I feel like as people that have experienced so much,
Mhm.
I don't believe that we're sharing enough.
Me
Yeah.
personally, I'm like a teacher. I'm always very eager to share my experience with people. Like when I see these young kids when they're around them, I can't even control the urge to want to like put a few words to
That's
them.
amazing.
Like just help them see themselves because I know it's so hard to see ourselves when we're in the limelight. Because just the way I couldn't see myself until much later, I always try to advise them. I do that. I've also realized over time to the few guys that I met, and I tried my best to try to, put them through a few things. The I mean, they still had to make their mistakes. They still had to, irrespective of the advices, they still needed to fuck up to learn. So these days, I will still put it out to you regardless, but I know you still would have to go through your stages. And I just pray and hope for them that, when they go through all of this crazy shit, fame and all of that does to you, that you pull through, and then they also make good use of their time.
I've always had grace and try to tell people to have grace for people like, Wizkid, Olamide, Davido,
Yes, no.
for coming in
Fact.
so early. When people are online criticizing them, I ask a question that I'm sure if I put to the guys in the room here, a lot of them will find it difficult to answer. Have you ever been in a room with 1,000 women and 900 ready to go with you that night? Have you ever had to make that type of decision as a 18-year-old kid with millions in your bank?
And still hold it down and still be disciplined.
People have not been in those positions, but they can go quickly to Twitter and Instagram and
Chat.
want to criticize
Fact.
and stuff. So when you look at it that way,
Mm.
how young you guys were,
Yeah.
the kind of money you had, the access
Mm.
that you had,
Yeah.
and still being here today, having this normal conversation, Olamide, Davido, Whiskey. Sometimes I just hold my hands up and just say, God damn it, man, these guys,
Yeah.
there's some extra superpower that you have to. We see what Justin Bieber's going through right now.
I'm telling you, I was about to make reference to that when we was talking about not speaking about, it's crazy. I'm glad
Pressure.
I'm glad he was the type to speak out on what was going on. So it made me really seeing his life just also makes me reflect on what I was
Appreciate
going
yourself.
through. Even though I went through mine behind
Closed doors.
but I definitely went through that too. And man, big shout out to the OGs that were able to hold it down till death, till date. It's not
Absolutely.
easy.
A relationship that I always like to talk about as well is Olamide, Lil Kesh, you guys were extremely influential in building a bridge for Naira Marley in Nigeria. And him becoming as successful as it's become. Is that relationship still there?
I mean,
Or it's just like, because I don't see the music relationship like we used to see Kesh, Mali, Olamide, Mali. That's not there anymore.
I can't say about Olamide and Naira Marley, but me and Naira Marley were cool. Although we've not spoken in a minute, because after
Life.
everything that happened, we've just not spoken in a minute. I mean, life in general as well.
Life.
I live a very private life, like I said still. So if we don't really cross paths, then we're not crossing paths. But like, I've not seen him in a minute. We're cool. Yeah, we're good.
Of course, like you said, like everybody saw what happened and how difficult that situation was
Yeah.
for them as as
Yeah.
a unit, and for everybody that was also fans and friends of them. From Mobad to
Fact.
looking at that from afar. Is there anything that we can take away as an industry to maybe take care of ourselves a little bit more, or even try to bring people closer when it looks like things might not be smooth? Is there something that we can all do just to ensure that relationships are a lot better? Because in the music business, everybody's always thinking about money. And we like entertainment as well. So if relationships fall out online, people are quick to Instagram to enjoy a like and a comment.
Yeah.
But is there more that we should be doing?
The only thing we can all do is just to become better humans. That's all. Like, nobody is perfect, but like,
Facts.
if we all try to be better humans, like, it's just gonna go all the way and affect our choices, our decisions, how we treat each other. Do you understand? Down to them crazy ones online, though. The trolls,
Yeah, the trolls.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
those ones are never going to change.
Oh, of course. Like, I just laugh at them when they do. They go chop now, so like they're gonna eat. Like, it's like going on Twitter and just seeing somebody try to bash my work or say something. It's just funny to me because I know that same guy must have tweeted, "Oh, this album is dope," but nobody said a thing, nobody engaged it. But like the moment he was like, "Kesh, this thing self, just get out of here." Just people bash him. That which Kesh are you talking to? Nah, he gets Elon is gonna credit his account, so it's okay. It's cool.
Listen, you're here, you're touring, you're kicking off Derby, you're going to Chelmsford, you're in Birmingham, you're in Manchester, you're doing London on the 21st of April at XOYO. What can people expect from a Kesh event nowadays?
Man, we're just out here to party, man. That's all. We're just out here to party, have a good time.
Too many hits.
You know?
Too many.
We'll go on and 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 on. But yeah, we're just here to party. I'm just here to have a good time. Not being here in a minute. I mean, I was here 2 years ago when I performed at Ashake's event at the O2.
Yeah.
Prior to that was the last one I did with Smade. That was 2019. So I've not really been on the road in a minute. But I'm glad I'm here now. We're just out here to party. Not much.
Listen, people need to, you're one of those guys that have been putting in performances from the very first day you jumped on stage. I think that also has something to do with your church background and choir background.
Yeah, the music has something to do. Yes. But the energy that one is just a different energy. That one just different. That one has to do with how playful and how rough I was as a kid, but then...
risk taker, boy.
Big time, bro. You know how many scars I have? Forget to find boy. If I show you how many scars I have, I was that kid. But then I was able to find a way to take all of that energy and put it into something, that's giving me a name today. So
what can, finally, before we wrap up, what message can you give to like a lot of people now, because the music business is lucrative, is the way out of poverty for a lot of people. Everybody's trying to blow, making records, tagging you and myself a million times. What is a key message that you would like to just, even though you're trying to become a successful musician or get noticed, this is something you should take note of before this opportunity comes, if it does?
Yeah.
What would be that message to an artist?
Okay, the game is quite tricky now. Just like we were talking about before, how a lot of artists are coming with different mindset on how to break in. Some are trying to come with the, okay, I'm trying to get streams, so this is what I'm going to do to get stream. I'm going to do that. What I'm going to say is just be authentic, because that worked for me. Till date, it will work for you. Even when I make music, sometimes, like, depending on where it comes from, I see the results. Some songs I do because of one reason or the other. Some song I just did because it came from within. You see, and being authentic with your style, with your music, you know, with the way you decide to even market your music and sell it to people. If you're authentic enough and they can see your real personality in everything you do, it's gonna sell. Just be authentic, man.
Does this
Authentic.
streaming farms, does that affect you? Do you think about those
Mm.
allegations of, the charts and the playlist being manipulated by, fraudulently? Does it affect a musician trying to,
Does it affect me or
yeah, when
does it affect, or
does it
like how,
affect you?
what are my
Like,
thoughts about it?
yeah, if you're trying to put your music out and you feel like
Mm.
your music, the charts or the streams is
Mm.
not a true representation of the listenership. What do you
Mm.
think about that with those
So
allegations?
first of all, in this day and time, if you're still stream farming, you're just dumb. You're just wasting your money. That's number one. Yeah. Number two, I've always believed that it's about the product. The product comes first.
Mm.
So if you like stream a song that's not worth being on number one, and you stream it all the way to number one, they will listen. It's like a billboard,
Yes,
which I understand why some artists would
it's
decide
like a
to use.
marketing.
It's a marketing strategy right now. So but I'm also glad that people know. Unlike when people did not know, that's when it was a little dicey. Now
Yeah,
we know the possibility. So
that
now,
this might
if you
not.
decide to farm your song and put it up there, it's kind of like an advert placement.
Yes,
Kind of, it's like, okay, I made this song, come and listen to it and check it out. But at the end of the day, the listeners that go on these streaming apps and then decide to listen and listen and listen and listen and listen over again is because the product is good.
Hmm.
If no matter, if you like, let them cancel you as an artist today, bro. Get in the studio. If the product is good, they're gonna
Get
listen.
back on.
Do you understand? So it's always about the product. I don't think it affects anybody anyhow. But I mean, it is what it is. It's a tricky game. Like numbers are not numbers no more. Like fam, it's money, bro. Like, do you want 30 million streams? It's bar, bro. You're gonna get it, bro.
Don't get it. That's
Yeah,
crazy,
it's not-
man. Listen, well, we can sit down here and talk for forever.
Mhm.
I'm excited that you're back in town. You're doing what you love. You look amazing.
Thank you.
Feel the energy around you is fantastic.
Shoves.
And it's very important that we see people like you that
Yeah.
have been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
Look this way.
Yes.
Because this is the advert that
Ex-
we want for the younger guys.
Bro, and I take so much pride in that because when I see the youngins as well, I also want them to see that people like me have been around for a while. Like, I didn't like things like smoking weed. I didn't, I prioritized things like taking good care of myself, my health, not abusing drugs, not doing anyhow. Like, it's very, very important because a lot of people over the years, you could tell the difference of people who are in a better place mentally and people who are not. So if some people have been around for this long and keep it together and look good whenever you see them, I take pride in that.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, guys in the room, make some noise for my brother, Lil Kesh!
Podcast.